What's up, it's your boy Xavier again, back with another review in the car. Look, I just went to see The Harder They Fall, the all-black Western satire production. Jasmes Lassiter, Jay-Z, Lawrence Bender, producers. So this is definitely a Hollywood business transaction more than a Western. The guy who directed this movie is James Samuel, aka Seal's little brother. If anyone knows who Seal is, it doesn't even matter. But anyway, he directed this movie. This is his first time directing, first time co-writing this movie. He did a good job as far as the most part, directing the actors, directing the whole action sequences. The story's a little bit, it's a little bit typical Western. It's about real black gangs, the Rufus Buck gang. You got Stagecoach Mary in there. You got Nat Love in there. It's a couple other gangs. The Crimson Hood gang. I can't really name everybody, but the actors are crazy good. Jonathan Majors, Regina King, zazie, beetz, cyler, Delroy Lindo, Idris Elba. The whole cast is phenomenal. So the movie starts out really as Regina King as the de facto lieutenant of the Rufus Buck gang, breaking Idris Elba, Rufus Buck, who's the leader of the gang, off a Stagecoach prison transport car. She stops on the tracks with the horse. Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers all the time. This movie's going to be on Netflix in November, so it really doesn't matter at this point. So after this opening sequence, they break him off this Stagecoach prison car. They shoot up a bunch of Confederate soldiers, or not Confederate soldiers, Union soldiers. Take him away, and they go back to Redwood. Redwood was really a actual town, a black province town, where these black cowboys and black outlaws are based out of. It was one of the few towns that black people had back in the day. Jonathan Majors, it goes back into a flashback scene. He as a 10-year-old kid. DeWanda Wise pops up as his mom just to get killed by Idris Elba. We don't know it's Idris Elba at the beginning, but we know it's him. Apparently he takes a knife and cuts a cross in his forehead like this, so he has a distinct look on his head. Years later, he's an adult. We see him in the church, and the guy that was holding him down while Idris Elba was cutting his face, Rufus Buck, has a scorpion tattoo on his hand, and he notices him years later in the church, and then he gets his revenge on him by killing him, and then he goes back on the path to revenge against Rufus Buck. Along the way, Stagecoach Mary, she owns a brothel that he stops by and has a drink in, and they have a little connection. It seems to me in the movie they had a romance in this movie. I don't know about the real events, Nat Love and Stagecoach Mary being together. That's probably fictional just for the film. But they meet up in her brothel. She gives him a kiss, and then after she kisses him, she punches him in the face, says, "You know what that's for, and you know what it is." And then after he wakes himself up and he gets off the canvas, and he goes upstairs to her room and apologizes. They try to get down to the nitty gritty, try to get a little love session in, but they get interrupted. They know that the Rufus Buck gang is on the move, and after this you get another scene where Damon Wayans Jr. pops up as part of the Crimson Hood gang. He is definitely up to no good, but he's the last one left. cyler is he plays someone called James. I forget his last name. I'm probably gonna do a second review on this when the movie comes out on Netflix, just to double down so I know who's who. And they get some information. They rob cyler's character, James, robs one of the Crimson Hood gang, and they say, "Look, I robbed the people who rob banks." And Damon Wayans' character, who we don't really know the name of, Woody McClay, pops up too as one of the members. And they say, "Huh, you think this is a bank robbery?" Nah, man. This is Rufus Buck. They don't say it, but it's implied. And then the movie goes on to, it's really about the claim of Redwood. That's really what this movie's about. Rufus Buck gets out of jail. He goes back to his old town. Trudy Smith is the name of Regina King's character. She runs a little brothel in that town as well. And then Dion Cole, who's a sheriff, who was in place of Rufus Buck while he was away incarcerated. He sells off the rights to be a settlement town for $50,000. So Rufus Buck is broke. He needs Jonathan Majors' character basically to pull off a job to go get him some more money, because the town peoples won't do it. They don't have any money in that town, so the settlement won't have all the white people drive them all out, and so they can have their town back. That's basically what this is about. He does his last job basically towards the end of the movie. Him and Zazie Beetz kind of go back and forth, all love-hate relationship. Delroy Lindo pops up as a supporting character. He's a sheriff. He's a marshal. He come to take him in. He does take him in, but actually he's double-crossing to make sure he gets Rufus Buck back in jail, and that works out to dramatic effect. And basically they rob the money, but they end up blowing up the money in the stagecoach to piss Rufus Buck off. But the end of the movie is, look, it's kind of generic. The end of the movie, it's kind of lazy how they tie the two characters together, Nat Love and Rufus Buck. I didn't really like it, but the movie was great overall. The Harder They Fall is a really good film, so check it out. It's on Netflix. Or I just came out of the theater. It was because Netflix is doing limited screenings for their big movies. So if you get to see it, you see it. All right, another one.